Concord's in trouble, guys. This game just came out. Everybody knows this is that DEI infected Overwatch clone with fat characters. Fat. You can play as a fat black chick in this game. You can play as a robot with pronouns. Yeah, everybody wants to do this, right? Sony, I guess, invested a lot of money to put this game out. And guess what? They're going to lose a lot because it failed immensely at its launch date. How bad? Man, when Black Myth Wukong broke records, well, guess what? Concord probably broke records too, but not in the way that you would like or think. The Wokies are furious. This has been a hell of a week for the Wokies to take L's, guys. Not only did Acolyte get canceled, not only did Dustborn get absolutely buried, but Concord has also failed. You can see there's 241 players playing right now at this moment. The 24-hour peak was 473, and the all-time peak was 697. This is launch. This is a game that's costing people money at Sony. Smash JT made a banger video saying it literally costs them hundreds of thousands of dollars per player after 8 years of this game being made. Yeah, you heard that right. This game was in development for 8 years. There was millions of dollars behind this. Sony invested in this to make it like a time exclusive. This studio's done. This studio is done, guys. I'm pretty fucking sure this studio is done if this fails. Unless this goes free to play, nobody's going to pay $39 to play a game that's a cheap clone of games that have been out for years that are better, have more content, and don't have woke bullshit attached to them. Now, what's funny is you look at these launch numbers, then you look at the beta and the early access numbers, you can see they were much higher. Literally 2,388 people were playing all time. And then when you look at the other one, the other stats for the early access, you had 1,124. Now, keep in mind, this was when it was open to everybody. It was open. It was free. Everybody could play it. Then the number cut like in half. And then now, good luck. It's even lower. The people that this game was catered to, the modern audience, guys, it's this modern audience that DEI efforts try to cater to, try to placate to. They don't show up. I don't know if you guys realize this. Dustborn just went through this the other day. If you make a game for this modern audience, they're not going to buy it. They're not going to support it. They will bitch all day that your game is not politically correct and that it needs diversity and representation, but they won't buy it. All these studios are going the way of the dodo. They're learning hard. They're learning quickly that nobody wants this nonsense. And you know what? To be honest, this game doesn't look like it plays that bad. But when you look at the cringe, like the robot with pronouns, the fat fucking people that you can play as, it just looks terrible. And there's like not one single white guy in this game. They did that on purpose. You can't turn a blind eye to that. And people know. I've seen people say the majority of gamers don't care about this stuff. No, they do. They fucking do. That's why the majority of gamers aren't playing this game. And it gets even worse. There's been a former Concord developer by the name of Free Gunner who since has gone private and has preemptively blocked grifters like myself, Smash, you name it. They made this post saying that they were so honored for this to have been their first AAA game. Yikes, right? Well, they got some criticism. And somebody said, I'm so sorry this has to be your first. Right off the fucking bat, getting absolutely buried, telling him, hey, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I do not believe it is you or any of the other devs' fault that this game has performed so poorly. I could tell that a lot of effort was put into completing this game. It just came at the wrong time in a genre. Pretty fair criticism. I mean, you look at it, take the wokeness aside, this genre is old, outplayed. You got Overwatch. You've had, I don't even remember what the other one called. There was like an Overwatch knockoff that came out, like Battleborn or something like that. You have Apex. You have Fortnite. You have every single thing in the book that's been out for years already. But this Overwatch style with characters that look like Overwatch knockoffs, it's not going to cut it. And then you put stuff like pronouns, You have stuff in there that's a little bit cringe in the character design. Guys, this is like poison to people. They literally look at stuff and they're like, I don't want anything to do with that. But this individual, casual combined, gave great, pretty simple criticism. And of course, Free Gunner replies in a very venomous way. And that's how these guys react. All of them. I don't really care. It was a huge labor from a lot of insanely talented people making an awesome game. Why would I care about a bunch of talentless freaks hating on it? I'm sure having fun playing it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So immediately attacking the gamers, right? That's where they go. Talentless. You guys aren't allowed to say anything. I've seen it. A lot of people, a lot of these wokies like Nick Calandra, Mercante, they say that a lot of us right-wing grifters are bitching about games, but we haven't made a single game ourselves, so we're not entitled to having an opinion about any of these games that we're bitching about. That's their cop-out, that if you haven't made it, you're not allowed to complain about it. And I hate when people do that. You have the right to complain about anything that you are possibly putting your time and your money in as a consumer. No matter if it's video games, a fucking McDouble at McDonald's, you have a right to voice your opinion. And when people that are developers are acting like this, I'm happy that this game is failing. I'm happy that this game couldn't even hit 1,000 players on launch. And then Tuckernaut came in and said, talentless freaks, I actually came to drop some positive criticism, but get fucked. Clearly biased on the game. You're the one with no talent. Exactly. You attack your gamers, they fire back. And this guy that threw the shit fit, this former Discord dev, is hiding replies. You can see some of these replies are basically eating him up. Nobody's buying it and playing it. Thank you for this dog shit ass game. I'm sorry, but I'm not playing a game without disabled representation. And then here's one that hits it. I'm glad the 10 people who pre-ordered are having a blast, though. It's probably not going past season 2, and it's not. This is not going past season 2. Unless this goes free to play, it will not. And again, it's because this genre is overplayed. People had no interest. This came literally at the wrong time. The trailer looked like it had potential, but then you see that it's literally a clone of Overwatch, and then you see all the bullshit again, like I mentioned. Now, Free Gunner was hiding replies and actually being this venomous, saying, pay me $8 to unhide your reply, to multiple people, guys. They are literally seething that this game is failing, and this doesn't help. Now, I've seen actual on social media, Sony's out there trying to promote this. Like, they're literally trying to promote this game, trying to get people to play it on Twitter all day on my feed. I could just see all these advertisements for Concord. These guys are wasting their money. There's absolutely no way that it's going to succeed. And we're going to touch on this just a little bit. I wanted to talk more about this, but it's gotten to the point where the devs are actually removing the LGBTQ plus tag on Steam because the game's release was terrible. Yeah, they actually are removing stuff. People are catching it. They're saying they made a big deal about this game being for modern audiences, all 600 of them, but for some reason demanded Steam to not only remove these 2 tags, but also to blacklist them, plus any similar tag. It's too late. People already know this game has a clear agenda. So when you go woke, guys, you go fucking broke. And people are calling this. I wanted to make a video about this, but I guess we'll have a little teaser here for next time. You know, rejecting LGBTQ plus tag is a good start. Pander to us normal, casual gamers, more developer. Again, these modern audiences don't support anything, guys. The sooner that developers learn that modern audiences don't give a shit, they really don't care about the stuff that they're trying to be activists about, they just want internet attention, the better it will hold. I mean, look at Black Myth Wukong, what it has done for that game. It's literally done wonders for it. Over 10 million units sold. Second most played game on Steam of all time. Number 1 single player game of all time. And it's an average game. But what happened is Rebecca Valentine, Kotaku, PC Gamer, you name it. The Streisand effect. People like this idiot that was a former developer, Free Gunner, who since has gone private on his Twitter, by the way, are the cause that games like Concord are fucking failing. And nobody wants to see stuff fail, guys. I don't want to see studios fail. But when you're ugly towards your audience, when you're calling them talentless freaks, when you're being hateful towards white gamers and having old tweets pop up that you're actually the racist one yourself while calling people bigots, that's where I like to relish and say that, hey, karma collected, and it's a nice little gift that Dustborn failed, Concord failed, and you guys are coping and seething over Wukong. So, Free Gunner, what do you guys think? What do you think about it whenever you see developers, community managers, and journalists just attack gamers and call them talentless and just overall just fucking cry about their whole situation? And then if you're not in their echo chamber, if you don't pander to their woke ideologies, they try to call you a right-wing grifter if you make content and you make 1 fucking cent off of it. And if not, you're just an idiot who listens to people like Grums. These guys have been mad. 2024 has been a great year so far, and I'm fucking loving it. Subscribe if you guys are brand new. I'll see you on the next one.